Hello, Holistic Chamber of Commerce family. Welcome to today's Meet a Member segment where I am excited to introduce you to Eric Oxenberg. He specializes in building unique, informative websites and creates email campaigns that, here's so important, get opened and acted on. He's worked for national ad agencies on accounts such as Toyota, Honda, Microsoft, and others, so he knows his stuff. If you're looking for more visibility with your marketing, Eric is here for you. So welcome, Eric. How are you today?
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm great. It's a gorgeous day where I am anyway, and I hope you guys are having a great morning.
Excellent. So let's start with the why of marketing, like what you do. Why is it so important?
Okay, I think that all of us are really great at what we do. My practice, your practice, it doesn't matter what you do. The reason that you're doing your work and the reason that, you're performing your service to your community is because you got skill and you're really good at it. But not everybody is great at promoting themselves. And there are, oh my God, so many ways to promote yourself. You can do it by handing out flyers. You can go to meetings. You can, chat with people that you know, and you can have people refer to you. But the big thing these days, and the thing that I want to talk about this morning, is how do you actually promote yourself with a website, with email content to your clients and people that you know as prospects? How do you use social media to actually get people to come to you? And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning, because that's the thing that I'm good at and I like to talk about it.
Well, that's great, and that is I think hugely important. It is very noisy out there now, and just like slapping up a website, it doesn't really mean much anymore because people aren't going to know that you're there. And we can send out emails, but if we're not drafting our content in a way that gets people to actually read them or open them or take action, then we're just kind of spinning our circles. You
That's
know,
absolutely true.
yeah.
The problem that a lot of people have is they have all this content because they've been writing about or talking about or doing their thing for years, but they often don't know how to actually put it into an email, for example, in a way that when somebody gets it, they go, that sounds cool. I really need to hear about it right now.
Mhm.
And that's the whole thing, really. When you are promoting yourself, you're giving people a tease of the vast experience and the vast knowledge you've got so that they feel compelled to come to you and get more. That's what we're all working for. We're trying to get people to come in and talk to us. And I think that we can do that with just, a little bit of advanced planning and advanced information.
All right, so let's start giving us some tips or just some of your, suggestions to maybe help us improve what we're already doing.
Okay. Um, First, let me ask, does this sound like you? The folks who are listening to us chat about this.
Mhm.
Um, are you finding all the people in your area that you want to work with? Do you think you're getting as much business as you need for your practice to be successful? Is promotion the one thing that you're not really great at? And okay, I always use this one because I think it's funny. Does your website look kind of old and kind of tired and kind of lame? Because I know you guys are out there, and I know that a lot of people have websites and they go, all right, it sucks, but I don't know what to do to fix it. Well, you're right, and you should be able to fix it. And I'm going to go through a few things you can do to actually, improve how you get the word out. The first thing that I want to tell you is like, this is the best way to figure out how to talk about what you do. Everybody that I know, everybody in this group has clients that they already work with that really like their work. So I think after you've had a client for a few months, you basically ought to spend 10 or 15 minutes chatting with them about what they like about what you do. So when I do it, I go, so, do I meet your expectations? Did I do what I said I would do? Um, I ask them, is there anything that I could have done better? because this tells me and it tells them that I care. Um, I ask people when I'm doing the things that I'm doing, is it something that surprised you or something that you didn't think of, something you didn't know that, we could do together? Um, I ask them if, they would recommend me to people that they know and what would they say? And all these things, when they give answers to these questions, you know, hopefully you're writing them down, or, sometimes I'll send somebody just kind of, here are half a dozen questions about, our work together. Would you mind taking 10 minutes to answer them? And I turn those into a testimonial. And I say, look, can I use these answers when I, tell other people about myself? And almost everybody's going to say, sure, no problem. So I'll go, okay. Um, when you said I worked on your back with you, and you had problems before and nobody could fix it. But I did this one little adjustment and it made everything great. And all of a sudden I could see clearly. And, I heard birds in my ears and everything was fabulous. And what you would do is you would take that and you go, John W. had all sorts of problems with his back that he couldn't solve. Nobody could solve his problem. He came to me, and within 4 sessions, there was such a big change that he couldn't believe it. So I'm using their quote as my testimonial.
Mhm.
And you guys, anybody can do this. And the fact is, it's the greatest way to get somebody else to do the work for you.
And I can see how also too having the language of your ideal customers, you can also incorporate that in like your website and some of what you are like typing in terms of content, because a lot of times we use language that we think is clear and communicative, but that's not how our client, would actually
Search?
speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
Mhm.
You're using your client's way of talking to, kind of bring down to everybody's level the more esoteric stuff that you do.
Mhm.
So I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'll work with a half a dozen clients, and they'll go, wow, I feel so relaxed. I feel so at peace. I'm not stressed out anymore. And you won't go, we use this therapy and this modality to treat you. You'll go, I help you relax. I
Mhm.
make you so that you can actually focus and concentrate on what you need to do today.
Yes.
And that language is exactly what somebody's going to be putting into a search engine and go, how to help me relieve anxiety, how to get rid of stress, who will talk me through my anxiety, my
Mhm.
worries. So all these things that somebody tells you are really fantastic for promoting yourself. And on your website, I think you should take the best part of every person's testimony and just have a quote in the middle of your webpage. Eric made me think of things I never thought of before.
Mhm.
John Webb, Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And that, honest to God, it really makes people trust you. And that's the most important thing, because there's so many people out there that do these things, and there's so little trust in the community because people don't know until they actually work with you whether you're actually doing what you say.
Mhm.
So you need to prove it. And the best way to prove it is to have people say, yeah, he did it. It worked. It's great.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm like a stickler for like headlines and titles too, because I tell people if you're not grabbing somebody's attention or in your title, it's like super fluffy and vague, which you see that a lot in like the holistic community, like in the
Yeah.
spiritual community,
Yeah.
especially. And it's like, what does that even mean? And
Yeah.
if you aren't clear, people aren't even going to read. And I would think the same thing would apply to like email subject lines.
That's my favorite thing. Yeah, for
I
sure.
talk a little bit about that then if it's your favorite thing.
Yeah, for sure. The cool thing about emails, and when I talk to people about marketing, most people don't know that emails just beat the pants off of any other way you can promote yourself. It's better than social media because on social media they can scroll past you. It's better than talking to people in person because you can't reach as many folks. Email is fantastic because you can have a subject line that is, do you have this ridiculously complicated problem? Open to find out how I solved it. And then you do the same thing really that we're doing right now, which is, do you have a problem? Great. I acknowledge your problem. And I think it's great that you're aware of it. Here are ways you can solve that problem. Here is why I know these things because I've done it and I'm really great at it. And here's how you can get a hold of me if you want to find out more about how I can solve that problem in case you can't do it yourself. And I always put in my email, here's a problem, here's a solution, you could do it. But if you can't, or you just don't have the energy, or, oh my God, it's too complicated, Eric is here and Eric will help you put it together and solve the problem.
Mm.
Everybody that listens to this can do the exact same thing.
I like that because it's not like sleazy sales stuff, and I think a lot of like more consciously aware people are so afraid of sounding that way. But the way that you just phrased it is like very clear and not too long. Here's what the problem is. You can do it, but we all don't have the same time to tackle things depending on how lengthy it is. Sometimes it's not even within our skill set.
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of people go,
yeah.
look, I am really great at using my hands, and talking is hard.
Mhm.
And I get that. Everybody has things that they're great at.
Right.
The benefit of hiring a writer or a photographer or a web designer or a marketing person is that they do this all the time and they have shortcuts. And basically, they can talk to you and find out what you're awesome at, and they can communicate it in ways that you can't.
Right. Right.
I think that's the only reason I do what I do.
Right.
I'm good at telling
Mhm.
people how other people are great.
Mhm.
And it's mostly I listen. That's what you need to do. You need to hear what people are saying. And my clients, I spend a couple hours talking with them before we even say, okay, let's work on something.
Mhm.
So
So
I
to
know
be
who they are.
clear to be clear, when you're working with clients, you're helping them with their website content, with email, like kind of just run through the different things that you go through with your clients so they're clear
Sure.
on how you can help them.
Okay. So the thing about me, and the thing about people who are good at this job, marketing people, it's not just me. And I'm the first to say, if you don't like my style, I will refer you to 3 other people because I don't care. It's more important to me that you get what you need to grow your business than for me to make money off you. That
Mhm.
ain't my thing. So that up front, um, I will come up with a dozen, maybe 20 things that you can do to promote yourself. And it will start with, okay, I need a new website. Or it will start with, I'd like to do a campaign of 8 emails over the next 3 months. Or it will start with, I'd like to figure out how to promote myself in social media. What should I be talking about? How should I break these things up into what I do every week? And for any of these things, what I will do is I will go, here's the strategy. Here are the things I think we can work on. And we'll put together a schedule. We should do this month and that next month. And in 2 years, we'll be doing a refresh or maybe a new logo, or you'll get new headshots taken. And we just figure out, steps along the way. I'll build a website that looks amazing and I will draft and help you create content, whether it's copywriting or images. One of the things that I used to do for the longest time as a creative working for design studios and ad agencies is I would look at thousands of pictures to find one that perfectly expressed what I was trying to go for. And yeah, it makes your eyes glaze over, but eventually you find that just expresses what I'm trying to get at.
Mhm.
And you may not have the time to look at all these, stock libraries of photographs
Right.
and illustrations to get that. But I'm good at that. I find stuff that is really appropriate.
Mhm.
So I will put together images and I will make a layout that people go, I look here and I look here and I look here, and I got the point, and then I take action.
Mhm.
And it's kind of what we're doing right now. It's, you're leading somebody through the steps of what makes something work. And then at the end, you go, this is how you get a hold of me. And we
Mhm.
will do that too. But on a web page, at the top or at the bottom or someplace, it has to have a form that says, does this sound cool to you? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Contact me for more. And it can either be send you an email, or it can be call you up on the phone, or it can be what I use, which is a calendar app. Make an appointment to see me. The first half hour is free. And the other thing that I will do to make sure people have an interest in contacting me is I'll give something away. So it's like I'll go, all right, I can come up with 5 really cool tips and write them out on one piece, one page document, and make a PDF out of it and say, I will give you, just for contacting me, 5 free tips to do the thing that you do. And so I can help you with those things. But I'll give you as much leeway to, do your own thing as you want. I really only pick up where you're uncomfortable doing it yourself. Does
Okay.
that give you kind of an idea of, what kind of things I do?
Yeah. And so in the comments here, I did put a link. Speaking of, we're out of time. I go so
Mm,
fast. But
thanks.
speaking of a free chat, anybody that is interested in hearing from Eric, just having a conversation to find out more and to see how he can support you with your business, we do have the link here. And also, too, Eric can go into the private group and just make sure it's in there after the replay. I'd, go ahead and do that.
Will do.
Um, yeah. So please feel free to reach out to Eric. Thank you, Eric, for joining us today. And for
Story
everybody
was
else,
great. Thanks for
yeah,
talking with me. It was really
good,
fun. I always enjoy it.
good. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.